going now.
Oh, okay.
We're going to get there, guys. Hang on.
Really slow.
Got some slow internet here.
Let's hope this weather don't come in for about an hour.
All right. There we go.
Hello, everyone.
We have finally made it. This is Danny and Wanda from the big old Deep South Homestead.
Yeah. How are y'all tonight? And how are y'all doing? How bad is your state with all this stuff? Or is everybody kind of just chilling and doing like we are, not paying much any attention?
Not paying a whole lot of stuff attention. Just doing what we got to do. It's everyday life for us, so.
Yeah, it pretty much is. Hey, Beth. I hope Billy is doing better.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got a lot of people done popped in. It was up to 90 something before we even got on. But once we go on, unless I move stuff, I can't see.
Yeah, Miss Wanda's always.
I'm always messing with it.
83 right there.
Okay, we done lost people and we ain't even got started yet. Ain't that bad?
Oh Lord. Hello, everybody.
Oh, I'm with my tea.
Miss Wanda's got her taquino tea.
This is the maca chocolate. So it won't
keep me away. Is it maca or mocha?
It's M-A-C-A.
Maca.
Maca.
Okay.
Maca chocolate.
Maca chocolate.
Taquino. Y'all ought to try the taquino. If you can't have coffee or don't need coffee, try the taquino. I have a link in the description below. It is very good. And you can go to sleep afterward. It's heart healthy. It's just good stuff.
It's good stuff.
It's all herbal coffees and teas.
Just trying to check out the chat there and see all the different people in here. Man, we got a lot of people in here.
And we've got storms coming in, but ours has not made it here yet. It's probably going to be...
ours will be here...
during the night.
Probably around 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll pop in here.
Yeah.
Start having some weather.
So,
Dragonfly says there's 100... No, Gemini says there's 141 in the room right now.
Oh, okay. It picked up.
Picking up good. 176 now. Can I have 200? Come on, somebody give me 200. Come on, people, let's click in.
We're not auctioning off our subs.
We're not auctioning off our subs?
No.
Okay.
We're not auctioning.
I tried.
He enjoyed that auctioning, y'all.
I tried.
It embarrassed me. I'm just going to say I was a little embarrassed because I was thinking, you know, $30 for my book, my cookbook.
No.
And he just kept going, and I was like,
that's a sign of a good auctioneer. He just keeps pushing the price.
Hey,
you know?
cinnamon bun.
Look at this thing.
This is something that we were going to try at the gathering. Hadn't had it yet. You want to auction this off? Auction it off.
No, I ain't auctioning off. Then I got to take it somewhere and mail it.
-1, -2, -3.
Yeah, get a -1 here, a -1. Somebody give me a -2.
I just want to try it. This thing is hard as a rock. I can't see a cinnamon bun.
Probably vacuum sealed.
Well, if I open it, does it?
Yeah, you open it, you know you got to do something with it then.
Well, I do know, but I'm curious. I've never had a cinnamon bun that was vacuum sealed in a MRE.
You probably got to add water to it or something. I don't know.
Okay, this ain't a cinnamon bun. This is more like a Pop-Tart.
It's like a giant Pop-Tart, don't
it? It smells of cinnamon. What do y'all think? Should I try this? This is just like... It looks like a giant Pop-Tart.
That's what it looks to me like, a big old Pop-Tart.
I might could eat it, but I might eat it with my tea.
Huh.
Okay. It's not that appetizing.
Anybody who's ever had to live on MREs will understand. It's not really that good. It just gets you by.
If y'all want to see a funny MRE opening, go check out Crazy Days. It was me and who? Red Duchess Farms.
Red Duchess Farms, you and Jamie.
Did an MRE opening on Crazy Days.
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
That's the funniest thing. We caught the kitchen.
Like to catch the kitchen. Almost caught the kitchen on fire with an MRE.
We did. I mean, it's funny. If y'all want to laugh, go look at Crazy Days with me and Jamie opening MREs. I thought MREs like this, meals ready to eat. I thought you took it out of the package and you ate it. There was nothing else to it. And Jamie kept trying to tell me we had to heat it up. And I'm like, no, it says it's ready to eat. And then we almost got the kitchen on fire.
had the whole kitchen sink smoking and everything in there. I told them, I said, what are y'all doing in there? They said, we're trying to eat an MRE. I said, well, did you add water to it? What? I said, you got to put water in the pack. Why? I said, because it'll heat up if you do that. And then they went to pouring water in the pack, and just before I knew it, they had the whole kitchen smoking up in there. I was like, y'all would never make it.
No, because I thought MRE meant ready to eat.
MRE, made ready to eat.
Okay, so we keep bouncing in and out. We're having lots of issues.
We're having lots of issues here tonight. Of course, that's not unusual for us. This high-priced, very poor internet service that we have called HughesNet Gen 5, don't ever buy it. It's the crappiest stuff in the world.
Well, it was good when we got it because it was better than what we had.
Well, the thing about it is, it was good when we got it. That was the key phrase. Once they realize when you have it, they realize the amount of data you use, then they say, oh, no, they can't use that much data. And right now, all the little knuckleheads in the world is having to stay home because of coronavirus, or not coronavirus, but COVID-19. There's actually a difference there, y'all. Everybody's on the internet, so they got to divide it all up so everybody's able to have some. As a matter of fact, the chat has not moved in a while.
No, we have no clue if y'all are even paying us any attention or if we're even live. We've had red and yellow for I don't know how long.
Unable to connect to the chat. Please try again later, it says.
Yeah.
We're always in the red here, so hang on.
I'm not sure. Well, what'd you do?
Let me hold on a minute here. I'm just trying to see. We got 240 something, 254.
All right, y'all. We can't tell if we're doing anything or not because our chat will not connect. So we're just gonna have to talk and hope that you're still there.
Oh, you are not receiving enough data.
It says that all the time.
I know it always says that, but we got to figure out what's going on here. We don't have a chat here.
Well, we can't help the chat.
Let me check something here right quick. Let me see if I.
He's always messing with stuff. All right, so whether we have a chat or not, I guess we'll start talking about what's going on. Most people are going to be staying home tomorrow.
That's true.
And that's the first time Easter has ever been celebrated staying home. And I'm sure there's many people going to break that rule and they're going to get out and they're going to go get together. Danny and I lots of times celebrate Easter at home.
Should I refresh?
Not ours, should we?
Well, if something ain't working, we're froze, see?
I know. I don't know.
We're going to refresh.
You're probably going to start a new chat. Y'all just hang on because they ain't no telling what he's doing. You're going to start a whole new feed.
Well, it ain't working.
You just cut 259 out?
No, I didn't.
We're still there? Okay. He changed it. I'm not sure y'all. Can y'all? It says we're buffering. Can you at least hear us? What part of Mississippi are we in? We are in the southern part. We're about
30 miles north of the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Yeah. Talk to Dr. Rick about new internet we have got. Works off cell phone towers. Call him about it when you have time. Oh, I will.
I will. We will. I'll do anything to get rid of this.
I've been thinking about Dr. Rick because I was
really...
This is a
family-friendly channel. I got to watch it.
Yeah, you got to watch. But been thinking about Dr. Rick here lately and just hadn't had time to sit down and send an email. We've been really trying to pump up the gardening a lot. But as I was saying, a lot of people are going to be staying home.
They are. Tomorrow's a big day for everybody. And then to have the government look at you and say, oh, well, can't happen now. You know.
So everybody's going to be doing online services and they're going to be attending something online. You know, I don't know. Oh, thank you, Hidden Pines.
Thank you, Hidden Pines.
It says HughesNet was jumped when they wanted credit check.
Yeah.
And so we have our own thing. We don't do a whole lot for Easter because we don't have kids. Well, we have kids, but our kids are grown.
Our kids are grown. I've never been a big Easter person, so
I have been, but my girls have their own kids, you know, and they always have things they do elsewhere. And so we have been to Mom's a couple of
A
times
couple of
for
times we
Easter.
went to your mother's, yeah.
And we might have been to your mom's. I don't know if we've been to your mom's when she was alive for Easter, because she never really did much on Easter.
My family didn't do stuff like that. So.
Yeah. So mainly we would go to church and Danny and I'd come home. That was about it. So lots of times it's just us. We don't do a big Easter meal. We don't go anywhere and do anything. We're just here. So staying in place is not different for us.
I mean, to be honest with you, nothing has really changed for Wanda and me. The only thing that's changed is when we have to go to the post office to mail off Etsy orders or something. We put the gloves on and we do everything we're supposed to do, and that's about it. If I go to the hardware store to pick up something, we've been a couple of times.
Yeah.
We wear the gloves and everything. We keep the distances and do the thing.
Chris said, pray for her family. They lost their mama this week. And then Kimberly says this is her first Easter without her mom. Yeah. So usually Easter was a big thing for me. Growing up, my mama had 10 brothers and sisters. She had 6 half brothers and sisters. The 6 halves didn't ever get together, but the 10 brothers and sisters.
You know, 6 halves make 3 wholes.
Whatever.
Okay.
And so all 10 of my mom's brothers and sisters would get together. So that meant all my cousins were together every Easter. I did not miss an Easter until, I don't know, my kids were older before I missed an Easter at my granny's. And then my aunt took over. We went to my aunt's a lot, but my kids were young when I stopped going. And to this day, this is 50-something years later, there's still a part of the family that has an Easter egg hunt, so that's pretty cool. But when we got together, they would hide as many as 2 to 250 eggs at a time in the woods. This was just trees, leaves, branches. And the men would take the baskets full of eggs. They would go out behind my aunt's house, and it was in a hollow. It went down a hill and then back up another hill, and they would branch off. They would tell us how many trees the perimeter was that had 250 eggs, and there was probably about 40 kids run through the woods hunting eggs.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And we would usually find all but 8 or 10, and my cousins would find some the next week.
Oh, you'll find them throughout the weeks, or a possum will, or armadillos, or something. Will all find them.
So I was used to the big Easter egg hunt, I guess you would say. Now, I don't like this where they put them on the lawn and the kids run around and pick them up. That's not a hunt. These men hit them in trees, in holes, under limbs, holes in the ground, holes in the trees.
Right.
They hit them. And if you found them, you were lucky. I'm talking they hid eggs. They didn't just lay them on the ground.
Well, that's just one of them things that it won't be nothing different for me. I mean, I don't call myself really as having a family anymore. My sister's in the Philippines doing mission work. My dad's in a convalescent home. My mama's passed away. My brother's crippled. He's in a home somewhere. I don't even know where he's at. My other brother lives in a town way away from us. So the chances of me getting together with anybody, I don't even know where cousins or nephews or anybody like that even is. So there's no getting together with anybody. It just be me and Wanda. I always go with her. I don't ever go anywhere.
Yeah, Florida Homesteader said, I think Easter eggs taste better. We always boiled the eggs. Now the day on Saturday, and nowadays people are freaking out about leaving eggs out and stuff, but on the Saturday before Easter, Mom got up and boiled at least 2 dozen eggs. Sometimes 3 dozen, but she always did at least 2, and it's according to whether she wanted to or not, whether she did 3. Each of us kids got our little cups with the color dye in it.
Yeah.
And there was 4 of us kids, and we got to dye so many eggs apiece. And she would put them in those containers and sit them out on the cabinet, and they stayed out all night. They didn't go into the refrigerator. Then they were hid in the woods the next day, and then people ate them for a week afterward. Mama would bring home a dozen or 2, and we would eat them for a week. I didn't, because I didn't like boiled eggs.
Well,
But they ate
But
them.
boiled eggs, I mean, I used to carry them for lunch and everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They would eat boiled eggs for at least a week.
And somebody was asking in there if, have we heard about different states banning the sale of seeds and stuff? And the answer is yes. We heard today that Michigan now has banned the sales of seeds and little plants and shutting down nurseries and all that kind of stuff and um, you know, different things like that. So yes, we have heard about it.
Time Dreamer said Easter egg hunt is trying to find a store that has eggs at all in some places.
That's true. There's a lot of truth to that.
Oh, mine is trying to keep my chickens from eating my eggs. That's my egg hunt. I have to go in there and shoo them out and tell them to go find them something else to do. Leave my eggs alone. Have we had any problems? No, we've not had any problems.
We ain't had no problems getting seeds or anything. Of course, we don't usually go buy seeds.
Yeah, we don't buy seeds, so we don't really worry
not really
about
a big deal with us, but
Oh, there's Miss Lynn from Homestead, Oz. She said we weren't allowed to visit anymore here in Australia, but we have one daughter and son-in-law with the address that's at our farm because they have shifted before this. So they're having roast. So
Michigan did yesterday. Yeah, I know, Gag. Yeah, we saw that. We also know Vermont. And we've also heard that there's actually several other states that's thinking about doing the same thing. And to me, I don't know. Maybe they think that people will gather up in the garden centers because they're home.
I don't understand that because if you go in and you get seeds and stuff and you go home, you're off anyway. Why not let you plant a garden in your yard or whatever? What is the purpose of telling you you can't have any seeds? Now, I can see if they said you can't go buy a bunch of toys or you can't go buy clothes or something like that, but they're not saying that. They're shutting off the seed department. So what's the deal there? They're shutting off the hardware part and says you can't go in there and buy stuff because you can't do plumbing or something.
Jennifer says, we washed over 100 eggs last week to freeze. Whoa. The chat went by something, I had a herd or something, and it went by so fast.
Deborah said her hens play hide and seek with their eggs, and she has to go find them all the time. I found one out in the yard because I've been letting mine free range some, and I went through and all of a sudden there was one in the yard, and I'm like, okay, somebody did something they wasn't supposed to. They should have went back to the hen house.
Homestead also said they don't want food being produced. That's exactly it. They want you to depend upon them, and that I can't. I don't see me doing that. You know, I mean, I may have to one day, but it's not going to be by choice. I can tell you that.
Yeah, you can go buy a car, you can go buy lotto tickets, you can go buy whatever you want, but you can't buy seeds.
Right.
And I'm sure you can go buy beer and stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's essential.
Is it?
Yeah,
to
cars.
Some people, all that is essential.
Cars is essential. Beer is essential. That's the way the economy looks at it. This stuff's essential, but raising your own food, no, you don't want to be doing that. No.
All right, see, one lady said, Nadia said she went to Lowe's and they had seed for sale. It's mainly Walmart that's doing this. I mean, I don't know if I've seen other places. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like everybody I know, I've been asking my kids and asking different ones, they go to Walmart to do the pickup. They call it in and they just pull up to pick up. There's lots of things they're out of. They can go to the little grocery store down the road and they have it.
Yeah.
So why does Walmart have not have a supply when the grocery store down the road has it? You know, that's crazy.
Gagny says, yeah, beer is essential. Oh, yeah.
Beer and cars.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's what car lots around here. They're like, oh, we got to keep the car lots open. That's an essential thing. I can tell you why it's essential right here. The car lot probably called up the governor and said, Governor, remember last time you was running for your office, we gave X number of dollars to your campaign. Don't you think we need to stay open to, and he's probably like, oh, y'all are an essential business. Yes, stay open.
And we have all of our businesses are pretty much open. I don't think
So,
there's much of anything
Keith
close.
says liquor saves a marriage when you lock down in the house for 3 weeks. I actually witnessed a drunk guy today. I watched him just fumble all over himself.
And we're at home, y'all.
And I'm quarantined at
It
home.
wasn't us.
It wasn't us, but I actually
neighbor.
saw a drunk neighbor today. Yeah.
And it wasn't Freedom Acres and
Oh no,
her
no,
friend.
it wasn't her.
Let's just get that straight. It wasn't them.
It wasn't them.
It was funny.
It was hilarious to me. I thought it was quite humorous.
Gail says they're having a drive-in church where you sit in the car and listen on the radio. My daughter has that at their church. They've been doing that for a couple of weeks now. They people pull into their church and they have a radio station that you tune into. So you're actually in the same parking lot and you have that frequency going. Golly, Walmart's charging $10 a gallon for milk.
Whoa.
And they just poured out how much in places. Selling cars a huge tax revenue, obviously. And
it's a big thing.
Well, the last month they just got their tax refunds and stuff, so they got to stay open, right? They're limiting what you buy.
Yeah. They're dumping the milk. They were doing it like 2 days a week, and then you could keep it for a couple of days a week and sell it, and then they'd have to dump it again. They said there's just too much milk because kids aren't in school, things like that. They're not selling enough milk. They're having an over surplus of it, so they got to dump it.
What are the varieties of blueberries that grow at your parents' house?
Tiff Blue and Premier.
And we have some.
We have Tiff Blue, Premier, Alapaha, and what's that?
Pink Lady?
Pink Lady.
I think we bought a Pink Lady.
And then we've got a
we've got
a North Star in the greenhouse, which is a dwarf, and we got the Biloxi's over at the cabin.
Yeah, so we've got a huge variety, and we're hoping to have quite a few. I'm picking huckleberries now. I've already got, now huckleberries are tiny. They're about the size, they're bigger than a BB. They're what, about the size
about the size of a pencil eraser.
Yeah, maybe of a pencil eraser. And I've already collected a quart of them, which is really, really good. And I've already collected a quart of dewberries.
Dewberries.
Which looks like blackberries. For those that don't know, dewberries grow on the ground and run the ground. Blackberries grow on vines sticking up. Yeah, canes sticking up.
Minzy said canning lids have quadrupled in price in some areas. We actually bought canning jars this week for $9 and something a case, and the lids were the wide mouth lids were like $4 a box for the lids.
But now we may not get any more.
That may be it. Whenever I ran across that deal, and I told him, I said, just give them to me. I'll take them. I don't care what it costs. I just want them.
Yeah. We've been staying put, but we did run into the hardware store because we knew our little hardware store is run by some good people, and they have the little lines on the floor, but you know, there wasn't a run of people in there. There was several people there just scattered out.
Everybody was scattered out through the whole store. I mean, it wasn't no big deal. Baby. You'll be sad you ate an MRE.
I probably will be. Parts of my blueberries are shriveling. What's going on?
Dry weather, probably. Do we have muscadines? Yes.
Mm-hmm. And scuppernongs.
Jan says my mulberries are starting to turn. Our mulberries done come in and gone.
But mainly because of birds. Jim and I got her jars in and they were broken. Buddy had to go to Walmart and replace them. If you order jars from Walmart, there is no padding around them whatsoever.
None whatsoever. We couldn't take ours to the store, could we? Didn't we have to go back online?
We did one thing, and for the most part, they want you to go online and they'll send some more. But we did take one thing to the store.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mark said their lives hadn't changed since they stayed at home. Still go to work and home.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda and I don't go nowhere unless, like I said, unless we go to the post office to mail off Etsy.
We waited a couple of weeks for that, and I had a
We had like
Pile of
100 and
stuff.
something Etsy orders to take in there. And I've been to the hardware store twice because we're working on the cabin. I'm trying to get some things done in the cabin. And that's been it. I mean, we haven't,
Charlotte's rub-a-dub.
Brenda says, are you out of chocolate again, Wanda?
No, not yet.
No, not right now.
That chocolate's good. Y'all.
I'm actually, Brenda, when you see me pick up something right here.
It's a pecan.
Where am I at here? There we go. It is a honey roasted pecan from Miss Brenda Duncan from Duncan Homestead.
1900.
Oh.
They're awesome. She was afraid they would be too sticky.
I don't care.
But these actually are crunchy. They're perfect. I don't know.
Nadia said farmers are selling 28 pounds of green beans here for $10.
Whoa.
Wow.
What do? We sold them $1
We sold
a
him for $1 a pound. He's getting 50 cents a pound, or less than 50 cents.
And then we went up to $2 and people got upset.
People got upset when we charged $2 a pound.
Yeah. Sheila says they're opening their state back up next week in Texas, and we have not even peaked yet. Wow.
Now, you're going to see a lot of that.
I think our state will too.
I think once Easter is past, I think they're going to start opening things back up. They don't care. Everything I've said or seen, they don't care about the death rate of people. They said because the economy is more important, and it gives them time to get their infrastructure in place to deal with the death. They just want to make sure that money's flowing. They don't care about human life.
Spring Hill says, tell HughesNet how awful they are and the services, and they'll cut your bill in half. See, I told you, you need to call them because our bill's horrendous.
If I call them, you know what's going to happen.
I know, but I'm tired of them giving me the
I'll throw
rundown.
a fit with them. I just lose it. I lose my Christianity altogether when I get a hold of somebody like that.
Yeah.
I just rip a new one for them.
I've called them every month till this month. I've called them every month for what, 4 months, 5 months?
Yeah.
Hadn't done any good.
You remember what happened when I
Sullivan
called AT&T?
There's Miss Dana from Sullivan family.
Oh.
They're the ones who's working on a bug.
Yeah.
The Volkswagen. Half Acre Dreams says they're locked down
completely.
See, we're not. They want you to stay home, but
they encourage you to shelter in place, but they don't do anything to enforce it.
But then the governor says you can go do whatever you want to do as long as you stay 6 feet apart, and there's not 10 or more in the area. So it's kind of weird. But people are going to be having their online services tomorrow. I'm sure everybody. You know, we've had a lot of people ask Danny to do something tomorrow, but I don't think we're going to do anything. This is it. This is what we're doing, and then I'll be uploading if I can, because our internet service is going to be horrible for the next few hours.
Cindy, I don't know about the muscadines unless it's just extremely hot and dry where you're at, because when it gets to be too hot and too dry, they will shrivel up and just fall off.
Thank you, Deborah. Tell Rick thanks. He's sending an email.
Okay.
Prairie Girl. Yes, I did.
Yes, we did see that. Yes.
And Overlook Valley. I showed you there. Yeah. The way their setup was done.
Yeah.
You guys are really getting it going. I mean, we're watching like on Facebook. I watch Twitter and Instagram. And see some on YouTube, but we don't watch as many YouTube videos. But when they pop up, sometimes we'll watch a little. We just forget to comment. I'm sorry. I try to remember, but it's not easy.
Okay, we're doing a drive-in sunrise service. We're locked down here in Connecticut until May the 30th.
Whoa.
Now, that's the longest I've heard. We're doing May the 10th in Mississippi on some of the public things.
Any mayhaws yet?
Yes.
I have about a quart of mayhaws right now, and still have some on the trees. And I think I'm gonna make some mayhaw syrup instead of trying to make jelly. I think I want to try to make some syrup out of it to put on pancakes.
Asking which blueberries are the biggest and the sweetest. That's going to be the premiers. Those things get almost as big as a quarter. They're just huge.
But now the
Tiff Blue is a little bit sweeter, but it's smaller.
It's a smaller berry, but it's sweeter. has the best taste. When you don't notice it, you think the premiers are awesome until you get Tiff Blues and Premier together and taste them at the same time. You'll notice a difference.
Kimberly says, micro farm, I've always wanted to visit Connecticut in the fall. It is beautiful. I've been there in the fall. I used to go to Connecticut to bow hunt all the time. I fished on the Housatonic River, just outside of New Milford, Connecticut. Went down through Kent and South Kent, down through there. I've worked all up in there. I've hunted up in there. I've hunted in Massachusetts next to Bartholomew's Cobble up there. The deer are just unreal up there.
Somebody was saying, there's what you sow. Somebody was saying something about Louisiana's not reporting their deaths accurately from funeral homes.
Oh.
And they said that their somebody in their family had passed away in the funeral home from it. We have actually went from our county having 0 reported because they weren't really testing to now we have, what did I tell you, 9?
9.
And the county next to us, it was in the 80s, wasn't it? Or
yeah, it was 80-something.
80-something in the county next to us. And then on the coast, it was in the 80s. So it was crazy.
We don't have gooseberries are out. Is it gooseberries that's outlawed here? Yes.
I don't remember.
One of them was, I think it was it gooseberries or chokeberry? One of them was outlawed here anyway. We ain't allowed to have them.
We've got a wild a wild blueberry tree. Somebody was saying something about wild blueberries. We have a wild blueberry tree on our place. Have you even checked it?
No, the cows has been up in there. They probably eat everything.
They better not have eaten my blueberry.
Well, they'll eat up so high.
We have Danny cleaned out around the only wild blueberry tree I know. Now he's turned cows in there. Me and him gonna fight.
Danny, did y'all plant any butter peas? Not yet. It's too cool for butter peas. We'll probably wait till our Irish potatoes come out or English peas or something like that, and we'll plant behind them.
Yeah, we'll rotate. We have a long growing season, so we rotate.
Governor Martyr has us locked down to June the 10th. Gail, where are you at, Gail?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know who Governor Murder.
Maybe that's his nickname. I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
Where you at, Gail? I forgot.
Why were they outlawed, Lou says? They were outlawed in the whole state of Mississippi, I think.
I don't remember if it was gooseberries or it was something. It was one of them.
It was some kind of berries. I'm trying to remember. They were outlawed. Because remember, we looked into it.
Yeah, somebody asked us about planting them, and we looked into it, and we said, ooh, we can't
do we have elderberry trees? Yes, there's elderberries that grows here. Mostly in the creek swamps.
Yeah. Somebody's saying about trout. Yes, trout would be great if we had some place to have them, but I fixed Danny, or actually he cooked it. I didn't do it.
My favorite fish in the world, halibut.
He was in heaven with his halibut. Now we got it from our local Jack's Lumber and
Jack's Home
Improvement. The owner's son caught it in Alaska. And he gave us some, and we just hadn't cooked it. I was scared to try, so I decided I'm just going to thaw it out. We're going to see. And I told him, I said, I don't like that kind of fish. I'm not eating it. So he grilled it. And I said, I just want one bite so I can make myself know, because I like to try things. So I did. It didn't have a fishy taste.
Nope.
I was really shocked. So I could probably eat halibut. It was not that overbearing fishy taste. You got something in your water? Or it just looked like it?
I was just looking at the color of it. It just didn't. I was beginning to wonder here. I was like, okay, is something wrong with my water?
No. Carol said yes, halibut.
I love halibut. I mean, once I was up north, got hooked on it. Woo! Keith, pokeberries. Yeah, we have pokeberries here by the thousands, but we don't eat them.
No, we don't do anything with the poke.
It's kind of like what's those other ones we got here?
Pecan crusted redfish. Redfish is kind of.
I like redfish. Redfish is good, but pecan crusted, ooh, now that
would be really good.
That's good. That's good.
Julie said they're getting 5 to 10 inches of wet snow tomorrow.
Ooh.
Buddy said it's fine eating that halibut.
Oh, Grandma Rose is right. It was gooseberries. It had something to do with the being a host of for a plant disease.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking, but I didn't remember what
I
it
remembered
was.
it. I thought it was right.
Can I dehydrate food and store in mason jars with the vacuum seal? It's been hard to find the accessory pieces. Oh, I think she's talking about without vacuum sealing it.
Oh, I don't know.
I do know I've tried dehydrating stuff a few years ago and just putting it in and putting a lid on it and not sealing it, and the stuff gets moisture in it.
It does. It gets moisture in it.
Without adding the moisture absorbers.
Absorbers, yeah.
Yeah, and vacuum sealing it. It's kind of hard to do. Throw in some good old Creole and eat till I pass out. Oh,
Yeah, music. Well, yeah. Somebody asked, "Did we plant peanuts?" Yeah, yes, we plant peanuts. We hadn't this year so far.
David, the cinnamon bun is getting eaten because I'm a little hungry.
She's just hungry. She didn't eat before we came in here, and
well, I ate supper, but
yeah, but
it's been a while.
Been a while.
It's not that good, but if you're starving and all you have is an MRE, I'd recommend it. Is that? Well, the guy sent not only cinnamon bun, we have tortillas.
We got tortillas.
What's
all this stuff here?
Pepperoni pizza. Now I want to try pizza one day just because I'm hard up. More tortillas. Another pizza.
I ain't eating that stuff, not right now.
Italian sausage and cheese to go with the tortillas. Now there's a couple of packs of these. We were going to give some of this stuff away at the gathering, and it just didn't happen. So I have a box sitting here from, let me see, it was Survival. Let me mention the company.
Yeah, you need to mention the company. Was it Survival Gear or something?
Yeah, I think so. Bill Pascal from Survival Gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if y'all need anything, check out Survival Gear and see if they have anything left, because a lot of this kind of stuff is they're selling out like crazy. Grandma Rose says she's hungry. You want a cinnamon bun, Grandma Rose? She'd probably tell me no. She don't need one. Yeah, we ate some MREs after Katrina.
Anna, well, I didn't have to eat any MREs. I mean, I knew people who did, but we had so much food.
We didn't have to.
We didn't have to.
Hello, Dry Gulch. We didn't have to, but we got some from some place. So the kids and I would open them, and oh my goodness. Most of them were nasty.
I said, wonder what kind of kitchen gadget you think we might need later.
Anything hand operated. If you are used to using battery or electrical appliances, I have a potato masher that it's just a regular old-timey potato masher. I have a can opener. This is the kind that you just open the can. That's it. Long Road Farms, thank you.
Thank you.
Then what else? I have a cheese grater that is simply the old-timey cheese grater that you sit and grate.
We got hand grinding sausage grinders. We got hand grinding corn shellers. Hand grinders that grinds cornmeal, that grinds flour.
But in the kitchen.
But I mean, these used to be kitchen utensils.
Well, yeah, they would have been, yeah.
Egg beaters, like Wanda was talking about, hand-operated egg beaters, can openers, anything like that.
Yeah.
A plain old percolator coffee pot.
Yeah, I have several.
Yeah, I mean, just something you don't have to have electricity to operate.
A kitchen-majig. I love my kitchen-majig. Y'all, that is the best thing ever. I've had it probably 20-something years. They don't even make the kitchen-majig anymore. They make something similar, but the actual brand kitchen-majig went away. But when I divorced, it went with me. When I left my apartment and came here, I gave my kids a whole bunch of stuff, but my kitchen-a-majig came here. I was really particular about that one item.
A hand juicer, yes. We have a
lemon
quinoa. Is that how they say it? That thing you run the stick around in, and we use it. It's a quinoa.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we used to call it chinoy, and they said it's not called chinoy, it's called quinoa.
Yeah, we were not saying it right. It's spelled CHINOIS.
Yes, yeah.
And we called it a chinois. And somebody got on to us and said it's a quinoa.
Right.
So
Wanda,
I don't have a French press coffee maker in my kitchen.
No, we know what it is, but we don't have one.
No, I don't have one. I usually Danny makes my
Chinois, yeah, Baker Mom. That's actually y'all can show that. I mean, it's not gonna hurt anything. If they don't, I will.
Yeah, Baker Mom was right, and they fixed it.
Okay.
Lippy's getting pretty
Water
good at
catchment system, I think, is important. Yes, we have a rain catchment system. No, I'm not going to drink it out of the cabin. But
no, if y'all seen what came off our roof.
Boy, that roof was nasty.
Oh, I had to go get my kitchen-a-majig. Tell them how much water and how much rain we got and how much water.
After designing the rain catchment system with the, I think it was a 10-gallon first flush system, we still, out of a half-inch of rain, got 80 gallons of water off the roof of our cabin on that one side. So we felt like that's a pretty good deal. If we can just get a couple more inches of rain, we'll probably fill that 300-gallon tote up.
Yeah. All right. So this is the original kitchen-a-majig. I don't know, is that where it's at?
Yeah, if you go online and look, it's all about how they're made here in the back and everything.
How it's angled, the width, and everything. Now, I've seen some, but they're not made this way exactly, and they're not angled this way. This turns, and it's great for scooping stuff out. I use it for everything. Do we have morel mushrooms in Mississippi?
Not in South Mississippi.
That way, y'all know what a kitchen-a-majig is. You can find them at Walmart that are a cheap version, but they do not do what this one does.
Yeah, if you go online and look for them, they tell you there's a cheap version, and then there's the original version.
And you can't buy the original no more.
No, you can't buy it. You might find it on eBay, but you're probably going to pay for it.
Yeah, Fry Daddy had their own version of them, but the kitchen-a-majig is better than the Fry Daddy.
Yeah.
Mary Catherine says she uses her French press for the taquino coffee. Really? I don't know, but it's an electric something, right?
Deborah said, Rick said that's a cat litter scooper.
Oh, no.
No, Wanda would chop your hands off if she saw you do something.
Rick would lose a hand.
Oh.
If he ever used that for cat poop, I would be
She would smack him in the head with it. I can tell you what would happen.
I'm going to tell you what, Deborah and Rick's going to have to come visit one day because I'd have to pop his hands for that one.
Yeah.
Brett and Cindy's building a bigger catchment system. Yeah, it was like the Fry Daddy had one that was a lot wider and flatter and turned. I remember the Fry Daddy because I have one. For some reason, the angle of this one does great with French fries.
Yeah.
I loved it when I was frying stuff years ago, which I don't fry anymore. But now, just scooping something out, like if you're blanching veggies and stuff, it's perfect for all that kind of stuff. I use it all the time. Yeah, mainly you find the cheap ones. If somebody's got a good one, they wouldn't.
Yeah, the cheap ones are out there everywhere, but this is the actual
Gail says she wouldn't be without hers either.
Yeah.
If you've ever gotten used to using the kitchen-a-majig, you just about You just say, I ain't gonna do with the cheap version.
That's true.
There's lots of things like that. We have a spatula that Danny just loves, and he has fixed that spatula probably 2 or 3 times.
At least.
It's so thin on the front and it scoops right under stuff. You know how the spatulas nowadays are thick on the end and they won't scoop under your stuff. And we finally found one. I don't remember where we found this last one. Were we at a dollar store?
Might have been at a dollar store, yeah.
Because we've tried everything Walmart had, and the spatulas are thick on the end. And we finally found the thin one, and we bought a couple so I'd have one at the cabin. David wants to know, do we have a brake bleeder for sealing?
No, I know what he's talking about, though, but we don't have one.
Yeah. Susan says she uses hers all the time. Art of Creation says her mom has one. It's great for mixing eggs. Yeah, I guess it would be. Yeah, it would work for that. Yeah, antique stores maybe, but most people hanging on to them. Something crossed my mind, then it went away again. Oh, working on the cabin. We've
been busting it on the cabin.
We've been doing all our gardening, and we got caught up. And Danny says we're going to work on the cabin a little bit. So we went to decide we were going to work in the bathroom, and we had a couple of sheets of stuff that we were thinking of using on the walls. And then we were going to be out of material, and we were just going to call and have them deliver some. And he goes in there to mess with the toilet to get it up.
No, we're putting a sheet of ply. We're going to put the sheet of stuff on the wall, and I hit the toilet with it.
You bumped it.
Yeah. And
he noticed that the little ring at the bottom.
The closet bolt, I said, that closet bolt don't look right. It's crooked. And I reached down there, and the bolt wasn't hooked to nothing. And I'm like, oh, no. I said, now, what has happened here? So I reached and touched the toilet. You could pick the whole toilet up off the floor. I'm like, well, and I looked, and the flange was broke underneath the toilet. I told her, I said, well,
that's how come we ended up.
We can't leave it like this because the sewage scent will come all back in the house. I said, we got to go to town. We don't have a choice. And of course, we went to town. We bought all the plumbing stuff we needed to do all the underneath the house, and we went ahead and bought everything to do the bathroom with and all. And then Wanda and I spent the next day working on the bathroom. And I finished the plumbing under the bathroom and the kitchen today.
Yeah. So the bathroom has stuff on the walls, and I painted yesterday and got all of it painted because it was kind of a grayish look, and we didn't want it that color. So we painted it the toasty color. And one day we're going to get something finished where I can make a video. Well, I don't do piece videos.
She don't like to show something unfinished. I told her, I said, it don't matter to me. Just show what we've been doing in the cabin. Nope. When we finish it,
I want it at least reasonably finished. And so I've been shopping online because it's the only way we can shop. And I've been on Amazon, and I finally yesterday, while he was finishing up over there doing some stuff before I went over to paint, I found my shower curtain.
Yep.
My towels, my rugs, and everything. Y'all, I'm going with a dark teal color in that bathroom. It's going to be beautiful.
It is nice. The only thing we like is to figure out the floor tile, and I know what I want.
He's just got to find it.
I can't go to these stores and look for it because, we're in the lockdown right now. And I don't want to get no COVID-19 over a piece of floor tile,
So.
And I can't order it online.
So the colors, the countertop that he's putting in there, we've already bartered with Paul, our neighbor, over poplar.
Poplar.
And it is beautiful. It's really dark with the purples and the greens and stuff. So it's kind of got a greenish blue tint to it. That's why I'm going with that dark teal to try to bring some of that out. And I can't wait. I'm anxious to get the bathroom done. And he hadn't finished the kitchen. He got the kitchen to the kitchen doors, and we've been busy, and he hadn't got the doors. So it's either he's got to finish the kitchen doors or he's got to build the vanity.
I got one to do. I either got to do doors or vanity, and I'd rather build the vanity right now. Of course, I got to build doors to go on the vanity when I do it. So
Well, you might wait and set up and do all
I might do
doors.
all the doors all at once. Who knows?
Yeah, that might be what he has to do. Yeah, the dark teal. I kept looking for the color I wanted, and I told Danny, I said I looked and looked and looked, and they kept popping up this bluish green something, and it was real light, and it didn't even look right. And I kept looking and looking, and I finally found. I had typed in turquoise, aqua, blue green, all these colors, and then I finally found one rug that popped up about the color I wanted, and it said it was teal. So I started looking for teal, and I did find the color in towels and everything once I found teal, and it was awesome.
Time to Sew said their bathroom is teal.
Yes,
and I never grow
Freedom
tired
Acres
of the
and
color.
Paul. Yes, Freedom Acres and that Paul. That's the only neighbor we got. Well, we got Doc over here.
We got Doc, but I mean, we spend a lot of time around Freedom Acres and Paul. You know what I mean? So they're really our good neighbors. Of course, Doc and them's a good neighbor over here. He's the one his wife got killed here a couple of weeks ago.
No, it's been about 2 months ago.
About a month or so ago, huh?
2 months.
2 months, okay.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Time flies, but he's still having a little, having a hard time with that. But
yeah.
But we mainly spend most of our time with Amanda and Paul back here.
Yeah, they're getting their little thing set up. She started making videos again, and she's gonna start showing you their progress, I guess.
Yeah.
And what was that today? I said, we've sent over some things off and on and helping them get started, and
we give them some different things. You watch Amanda's channel, she'll tell you that Deep South Homestead gives them this and that.
And we'll be over there next week. We got a little project
over there we help them with next week. We're gonna try to get some of that help done to help them out a little bit, and it helps us out some. So.
Okay.
Jonathan Bowen says, "How do I find the Lord?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, first off, get you a good Bible and start reading it, and the Lord will find you.
And I would start with Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Start with the 4 Gospels. Start reading them, and I promise you, if you're sincere about looking for the Lord says, "Knock, and then I'll enter."
Usually, when you start reading Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, everything starts coming clear to you.
I would start with John first.
Yeah,
I would read John,
really the best.
And then Matthew and Mark. They're 4 Gospels. They all coincide one with the other, but I would start with John, and then I would read the others after I read John. And if you're sincere, trust me, the Spirit will come to you. You won't have to worry about it.
And there's plenty of people that you can ask questions and send emails. They will all be glad to help if we can. Answer any questions. We can't help you with that process. You have to find them yourself. But we can.
But once you begin to read the scriptures, you'll come to the realization that that you have sin in your life. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all have sin in our life. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And once you realize you have sin in your life, you need to be forgiven of that sin. And in order to be forgiven of that sin, you have to ask Christ or the Lord to come into your heart and to save you.
Yeah, and Jacqueline said John helped her. She said it was John that she was reading.
Yeah.
Yes. And Time to Sew said they started with John first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John is always the go-to book in the Bible when you're a new person reading the scripture. There's other books that's really close to John. You can start reading Romans because they have what's called the Romans Road. But Romans is a little difficult until you actually have John behind you.
Do you have a verse to use in or for your garden? What's your favorite verse?
Jonathan, sometimes we can find the words to speak. Do I have a favorite verse
for the garden?
For the garden?
What's the one that you always, there's one that you always, I don't know that it's necessarily for the garden, though. I
have favorite verses for different things because a lot of people always look at me and say, oh, I'm so tired of God tempting me with this and God tempting me with that. And I told him, I said, look, you need to look in James chapter 1, verses 13 and 14. Bible says, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. But every man is tempted when he's drawn away of his own lust and enticed. And uh, God says, I can't be tempted with sin. If you're tempted, just because you're drawn away of your own lust and you're enticed by it. And I mean, those are things that I keep in my mind. And one is Psalms. David said, thine word have I hid in my heart that I might not sin against thee, O Lord. I mean, these are the kind of things that I recall into my mind whenever when I'm in my garden. And when I'm in the garden,
Wow.
probably my best verse in the garden is probably the 23rd Psalm. You know, that's probably one of my better ones.
Jen from the Nut House had seed from 2016. She's had 68 Danny corn seeds come up that she's had for 4 years.
Wow.
That's a good thing. Which Bible would you recommend? Which version, I guess they're saying.
If you're a new person, the easiest, I mean, the New King James Version is probably a good Bible for you. I mean, there's actually lots of them out there, but the New King James is pretty good.
Yeah. And the King James Version is the one that everybody is always saying is the Bible. So if you're okay with that language, then the King James is fine. But the New King James just takes these and thous and turns them into you or, you know, whatever.
Well, it takes the Old English part of it and brings it into New English.
New English.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
Yeah, it's... Did Hank ever come home? No. Hank has never come back.
We ain't seen him.
Hank is the prodigal dog. If he come back, he would be the prodigal dog. I would say that for sure.
Something lie down in green Danny corn pastures. We have some Danny corn up. We actually had to plant twice for some reason. He thinks his
I think my planter on my tractor just wasn't planting because the seeds weren't there.
It went the first 2.5 rows it didn't even plant, and the last half and 1.5 rows perfect stand.
Yeah.
So he had to go back and plant, and we've got little bitty corn about that tall. The sweet corn's up, what, 2 feet?
The sweet corn's up big old tall stuff. Yeah, it's about 16, 18 inches tall.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to sit here and harp on King James. King James is full of problems. It's not, and I may open up a can of worms here, but King James version of the Bible that we read today was not the actual King James version. The actual King James version was the true 1611. The King James version has been rewrote, I forget how many times. Now it's like 10 times or 11 or something like that. The original King James version had the 1611 had the Apocrypha in it. In the mid-1800s, they took the Apocrypha out. And what most people don't even know about King James is King James was a homosexual. And he had the Bible rewrote for a political gain. But yet, I do believe the Lord was in it when he done it, because it's still the closest thing to the true Word of God that we have today. Now, you know, it has its problems, but it's the best thing you're probably going to get. Now, I do have the Hebrew Bibles. I've got the New Jewish Bibles and stuff like that I use to break down the original Hebrew into the Old Hebrew into the modern languages and stuff like that. I mean, I have all those, and plus I go online and just use.
I like Bible Hub.
Bible Hub is probably one of the better ones.
I take Bible Hub, and for new people, it might be confusing, but if you're a person that wants to study, I take Bible Hub, and I look up the King James version. Then I look up the old original version in Hebrew or Greek or Aramaic or whatever it's in, and I read that because they translate it and see how close, and then you can go from there. And so we do have the New King James Version, and it does make reading it easier. But overall, I'm used to the old King James, and that's what I use. But I don't use the original King James because you can't read it. We have one. It's in old. It it's very, very difficult to read Old English, believe me.
Yes. Yes, having a parallel Bible is a good thing.
Yes.
You know?
One of our New King James has the old King James and the New King James side by side. Each page has both of them on it.
Actually, if you go back to the original King James version of 1611, Jesus' name is not even wrote in the Bible anywhere.
It's spelled
Ieosus, and there are no J's in that Bible anywhere because there was no J's even put in the English language until like 1492 to 96, somewhere along in there. Before then, there were no J's in any language at that time, especially not Hebrew. Hebrew uses a Y instead of a J.
Yeah. All right, so
Mary, the Bible Hub that's probably the best thing you'll ever come across.
yeah, just type in Bible Hub and it'll bring up probably, I don't know, bunches of different versions, any version you want to imagine. But you type in the version you want and you can go back and forth between all of them. And if you want to even Google, like say a friend of yours says something about the NIV Bible and you want to know what the NIV says compared to your King James, you can look it up.
Yeah, you
and
do them side by side.
You have something you can base your thinking on, because you can't just say the King James says this and throw away the NIV if you don't know what it says. You have to have them side by side so you can have something to talk about.
Okay, this question's come through here about 10 times. What do you think about metals as far as owning any? I don't, because I'm going to tell you why. In Ezekiel, in the Bible, it says in the latter days of an age, which we are probably in now, it says that men will throw their gold and their silver into the streets and they will curse it because they can't eat it. Because food is going to become so scarce and so hard to come by. And you go, well, how do you know that for sure? Well, even Revelation says it'll take a day's wages to buy one meal for one person. A measure of wheat for a denarius, which was a day's wages at that particular time. And if it says it in Revelations and it says it over in Ezekiel, then, or it was either Daniel, it was Daniel or Ezekiel one, my mind just slipped on me there right there for a moment, then I believe that gold and silver stocking up on it, and I'm not saying it's bad to have it, but don't just bank your life upon it, because the Bible does say that when the time comes, it will be thrown in the street because it will be worthless. Because what good is it? If you're starving to death and there's no food, the gold and the silver won't buy it if it's not there. So that's my opinion on owning metals.
Yeah. Somebody asked when will we open Deep South back up. For now, it is not at all.
Well, not at all for right now. Or not in the foreseen future anyway. Right down the road right here is a little church we go to. My family started that church back in the late 70s. And Nadia says, yes, metal would be worth nothing. It's in the Bible. That's my theory on it. I don't invest in metals. I don't see any reason to. I put my money into tangible objects I can lay my hands on, and it will grow food for me and stuff like that. That's what I spend my money on. You can't eat gold and silver, right? Food will be worth more than the gold and the silver, yes.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of people are trying to sell gold and silver, and
they're trying to push it.
They're pushing it, and I don't know. I don't see it. Danny and I've never been one to collect stuff like that anyway, and I don't know. We talked about this. We started as having nothing, very very little when we married, and no job. And we were talking about this today. We've not had a job, as people would say, since we married. Neither one of us. We've done a couple of little odd jobs here and there, but nothing permanent, nothing lasting. And we started YouTube 4 years, 4.5 years ago. And we make a decent living with between YouTube and Etsy. But it was mainly because he had applied for his disability 3 times, got turned down 3 times. And he said the third time, he said, well, maybe it just wasn't the Lord's will for me to have it. He says, we'll make it somehow. And we thought about all kinds of stuff. And where we're at, there's no work, not for 2 people that can't last. I couldn't leave him at the time because he was having so many issues with his neck. And so I couldn't continue on with what I was doing and get a degree and go to work and leave him home. So I had to stay home. And we just kind of fell into YouTube. And when we did, it was probably within the first 3 months, we started making the $100 check. And from that point on, we were paying the bill that we wanted to pay. And we said, if we can do this, maybe we can make it. And we've made it ever since. We've not had to worry. And our subscribers just kind of slowly went up. It wasn't like a fast jump or anything. We just had a slow, gradual subscriber base. And a lot of you been with us since the beginning.
Yeah, a lot of them have.
Is there any questions you're missing?
No, there's piles of them running by. Somebody's talking about salt is worth its weight in gold. Yes, salt used to be a currency at one time in the Romans.
Yeah.
Romans actually paid their soldiers in salt at one particular time because it was worth so much stuff. Money. It was a medium of exchange. If they're talking about this movie, The Shack, I don't watch The Shack. I've never watched The Shack.
What that is either.
I don't care for The Shack. I don't think it's accurate. It was all that construction work, and it probably was, Keith. Have we heard Dr. Fucci is discussing immunity cards? Good way to get your DNA. Yes, do not let people have your DNA. Don't go get swabbed. Don't take the vaccine. Don't do all these things because there's tracking devices in the vaccine and everything. I mean, it's not the end of the world, okay? But it is the end of an age.
Yeah, and things are changing just like now. That's what this whole thing was about. Used to, you could get together, do what you wanted to on Easter and all, and it may be back next year. Who knows? Everything may be fine and dandy. But for the near foreseeable future, the next few weeks, things are not going to be the same. They're still going to be sort of kind of like you got to meet online, or you got to pick the phone up and call, or you've got to
thanks, Ron.
You got to sit and message back and forth. Like us, we can holler at Paul and Amanda through the woods if we want to. You got to find ways to get together, and a lot of people are FaceTiming, and I do that a lot with my son and with my daughter and my friend Lippy on here. We FaceTime a lot. We use that on Facebook, and it's not bad. You're seeing even though you're not together, and I highly recommend that on Facebook, because if you can't be with somebody, use that FaceTime thing and spend some time with them.
It says we just got demonetized. I probably did. Who knows? But
what?
Somebody on there said you just got demonetized.
Oh.
We
could have.
I could have. There's no telling. They do They do all kind of crazy stuff to us. Somebody want to know what I think about butane. I don't really buy butane. We got the rocket stove now, and we can just pick up little sticks in the yard. I don't have to worry about a gas bottle. The thing cooks a meal just as fast as butane does, and actually does a better job in a lot of ways, especially since we got the dragon pot to go on it. This thing cooks. You have to watch Wanda's videos on it. It cooks unreal. I mean,
I'm going to do another one shortly. We just have been doing so much till it's hard for me to just stop and go over there and cook because I do most everything here and heat up. I cook one big meal and heat up for a couple of days. So Danny and I have a couple of ideas of what we're cooking in the dragon pot next. And so be watching for that one.
Yeah.
And as we kind of get the gardening leveled out, let's hope that it levels out. We're going to be picking English peas for the next couple of weeks, so I don't know. We'll see. I canned English peas today, and we're staying at the cabin. We've stayed at the cabin most of this week. Probably
most of it that we
about
did.
4 days of this week we've been at the cabin. Yeah, Richard, if they don't get things back to normal, you can watch it on TV, I guess. The 4th of July.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know if they're going to allow the 4th of July to even go off.
Danny, have you been listening to Deep Prosperity? Do you know who that is?
No, I don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Okay, we are way over our time here.
Oh,
so,
are we?
Yeah, we're off almost going for 11 minutes past at this moment.
Wayne says he was not talking. He was just joking about.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it though, because we've had it happen.
Yeah, usually when we get off, it would be demonetized. We've had several of our live streams demonetized.
Yeah.
For one reason or another, and lots of times I'll pull them if we can't.
Yeah, that's when a lot of times you'll say, "I saw your video up, but I can't find it anymore," or it's locked. It's because they demonetized it and told us we have to pull it down.
And now we figured out how to use YouTube and clip some things. And if I know what they demonetized us for, I can go in and clip that segment out and leave the rest of the stream up.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to do that with one. And I was talking about essential oils, and I said some things in my essential oils that I should not have said. And so they didn't demonetize us, but doTERRA asked me to pull it down because of the way I said things. So I won't be mentioning the essential oils and what they're for or anything. If you have any questions, you'll have to message me or whatever, but I am not going to be talking about them on YouTube because I tend to say the wrong thing and it's not what they recommend.
Right. Right. I have a tendency of just saying what's on my mind a lot of times. Sometimes it hurts feelings. Sometimes it doesn't.
I tell him sometimes he's running all our subscribers off.
She's always getting on to me. She says, "You're going to make all our subscribers leave us." And I'm like, I said, "But I can't help it. I don't want to lie."
Yeah. And that's why y'all love him, is because he ain't going to lie to you.
I'm not going to lie to you. If I know the truth, I'm not going to lie.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But sometimes y'all, and I gotta tell this on him just because.
Uh-oh.
He shot Porch Time today. Y'all, we're going to have to go back to him sitting on the porch, even if it takes me 12 hours.
I know it.
He can't work and talk at the same time. He's either talking or he's working. He can't do both. So Porch Time is in the garden, but he ain't working. I am.
This is true.
He has to stop
I have
and
to
talk.
stop completely.
He can't do both.
I'm the kind of person, I'm very job oriented. When I get my mind focused on something, I'm 100% into it. And for me to be doing two things at one time, I feel like I'm not completing my task that was set before me like I should. And it just makes it difficult.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny because I told him, I said, you can't, I said, go in the garden and start pulling weeds and talk. Or like today we were doing the English peas and I said, well, just pick peas and talk. And I was on the other side picking and I watched. He was sitting there talking. He didn't pick one pea. He didn't do anything till he got through. And then later when we were shelling, he sat there and talked the whole time. He didn't shell one pea.
No.
Not one. So y'all just know he's either got to be talking or he's got to be working. And when he's working and I say something to him, he goes, no, not right now. I'm busy. I'm doing something.
Right.
He has to concentrate. So Porch Time's probably going back to the porch. I don't care how long it takes. It's easier to edit too.
It probably is.
It's really easier to edit it. So we need you to start your own tube. I don't know what that means.
Well,
uh,
I thought about running for president. I don't know how that goes.
No, we can't handle that.
What about solar ovens? Yeah, I love solar ovens. I think they're a great idea. If you can get one, I think they're fantastic.
How do you do a super chat?
Bottom right hand corner of the screen.
No.
Or bottom left hand corner of the chat. Down below the chat, you'll see a $sign. You click the $sign and put in the amount you want.
Yeah, and then beside it is a little happy face, and I played with that a while ago because I saw it down there and I didn't know what it was, and I was on Crazy Days, and I said, "Look, I want to know, can I do this?" There's stickers down there. I didn't know what that was, and I played around with it, and you can buy stickers. And I says, "Hey, I didn't know that." I tried to send Danny a sticker on our super chat. Well, it's kind of like a super chat, and it didn't work. But I'll figure it out. I'd never played with it before. Sharon asked, have I ever made wine? About 20-something years ago, yes. I made it from grape juice. We bought grape juice, not Danny and I, but I bought grape juice in town, and we had this jug, and we had those big punching balloons, and we put it on it, and probably some of the best wine I've ever tasted. But it's been a long time. Somebody said they'd vote for you.
I would do it. We'd be a different world, but I would do it.
Danny for president in 2024.
You know, Trump keeps talking about cleaning the swamp. No, I would clean the swamp. They would have to. I'd probably
Day one.
Day one, I would walk in, and I'd probably walk through there, and I'd say, okay, everybody that's in the White House is fired immediately. And I'd get on the phone and start making phone calls to people I know and say, look, do you want a job? Do you want a job?
I don't know if you would or not, because most of the people you know you wouldn't hire.
No, I would hire them, but they'd have to realize that it was going to be my way or the highway. You know what I mean? And I would call the Marines in, Special Forces, and I'd say, look, y'all's job is to do nothing but one thing, and that's to guard me. Because I'm fixing to make some changes. And we fixing to go back to the Constitution. We're going to read the Constitution. We're going to abide by the Constitution. I want at least 3 guns in every house in the whole United States. You know,
there's
Angela. I want plenty of ammunition for everybody. I mean, I would straighten this mess out. I'd bring all of our boys home.
You go, Danny. That's naughty. She said, you go.
I would. I would. And somebody mess with us, I just nuke them.
Yeah. And the deal is, when you become president, they pretty much try to control you by lots of things.
They could, but I'd have them knocked off before they knocked me off.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is that's what's wrong with being president in the United States now. People don't realize that to get to that position, you have a lot of problems.
Oh, you do.
And you can't always do.
You got to suck a lot of egg to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your opinion doesn't take precedent, even though our president does seem to have his own opinion and do what he wants. He is limited in how far he can go.
Yeah.
Because he would have cleaned the swamp day one.
I think he would have. Anyway, it'd be a different world if I was up there. I can tell you that. I'd be the most hated person in the world, probably.
Usually they are, by somebody.
I mean, I'm just the kind of person, got no tolerance for people who are stupid.
No, that he don't. No.
Yes, a Bible in every house.
All right.
Okay.
So we've got a bunch of people to pray for. I remember Charlotte Slayton's husband, who is Rub-a-Dub Homestead. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think. My daughter's pastor.
Yes.
I remember him.
He's got
the treatment that they were going to try was not going to work, so he has to take a very aggressive type now. I'm trying to think.
Brother David is Like I said, his treatment's not working. He's
Um,
at stage 4, I think, ain't
it was bad,
he? It was
yeah.
bad, yeah.
Um, somebody else earlier posted something. So y'all put your prayer request up because I remember somebody said something about their mother had passed away.
Yeah.
I can't remember who. I just remember seeing things. And then just remember everybody that's staying at home tomorrow. And if you have a way to turn the TV on or turn on the internet and
Yeah.
find somebody somewhere, or message your kids or grandkids or your mom and dad or whoever, call them, spend a few minutes on the phone or on Facebook
Wellborn
time.
Tim and Valerie says, keep me in your prayers in the hospital now.
Oh, wow.
Rachel said, my daughter has COVID-19.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Well, we
Well,
saw Mississippi has 2,600 plus cases and almost 100 deaths. It was what, 80 something
80
deaths?
something, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how far Mississippi is behind everybody else or if we're ahead of everybody. I don't know. I didn't look nationwide.
My friend lost her dad and fiance both in the same week.
Mama Z's mama. Prayer for the Clark family.
Rebuke the impeding storm.
Pray for our president and our
Yeah,
country.
the president really needs it. I do believe he tries to do right a lot of times, but I do believe his hands are tied. I can tell when he speaks how uneasy he is.
Yeah.
And for the holiday tomorrow, for those that will be celebrating it. Okay. My hat over here out of the way. Father, we come to you tonight. We just want to stop and take a moment here. First off and say, forgive us for we failed you. Give us a clean slate tonight. Anything that would hinder our prayers from reaching your thrones, we pray that we can have forgiveness for it tonight, Lord. And Father, we pray that as we get ready to celebrate a day that we have set aside, or our nation has set aside for your resurrection, Father, we just pray that people will realize what it's for and they will glorify you and honor you, Lord, because actually it's not the death that's the important part of this holiday, Father. The fact that you were put in the grave 3 days before is not the important part. The important part is that you rose again. And Father, the fact that you rose again means that you overcome death and hell and the grave. And Father, that you are risen. And that gives us hope now that when we pass from this life into the next, that if we've accepted you as our personal Savior, then we too will be risen in the same manner and fashion in which you were, Lord. Unless we happen to be alive whenever you come back to gather your saints, then we'll just be changed in the twinkling of an eye, the Bible says, and we'll have a glorified body instantly. And we'll be caught up with you in the air to ever be with you, Father. And we just pray that, Lord, we pray that we can go that way. Lord, it would be awesome to be able to be alive when the rapture actually happens now, or the calling away, or the resurrection, or whatever you want to call it, Lord. And I pray, Father, that tonight each and every one of us can find the kind of peace and the kind of happiness that we need to make it through this impending doom that seems to be lurking over our country. And Father, you know what? There's a side of me that actually believes that this virus that we're facing is actually a judgment from you. We keep wanting to blame it on China, and we keep wanting to blame it on somebody else, a biological weapon or something. But for the innocent blood that this nation has shed through the unborn children, Father, I do believe that there's a requirement that an equal amount of blood be shed from adults. And the virus could be that very way, Father, for the penalty to be paid for that sin of taking the unborn life now. And Father, do be with our president as he's got his hands full at this time. He's got a nation that's trying to be shut down. The economy's on a hold, and not only here, but the whole world, Lord. They're trying to do a reset. They're trying to bring in the new world order. They're trying to do all these things, Father. The tracking devices and all these things. I pray in the name of Christ that all this can be rebuked. And Father, that you can, if it's your will, we can have more time and we can have our freedom back. But Father, if not, then be with us like you were with Daniel when he was cast into the lion's den, and the 3 Hebrew children when they were cast into the fiery furnace, Lord. You didn't deliver them out of it, you delivered them through it, Father. And I pray that if we have to go through a lot of this, then we too will be delivered through the fire. Father, just go with us, the ones that's mentioned tonight that's in the hospitals, the ones that has the COVID-19, the other ones that have all kinds of problems, whether it be divorce, death in the family. Father, just a simple fact that they can't assemble as a family for the Easter holiday. Father, bless each and every one of these. Heal the sick. Um, give each person what they need to be able to be back about their everyday life, Father. And Father, if we have to stay in this shutdown for very long periods of time, then grant us all food, grant us the supplies we need, and Father, give us all happiness and help us to be able to find contentment through it now. Go with us through the remainder of the night. Bless us. Grant us the blessings of obedience now. We ask these things in thy name. Amen. Yeah. Okay.
All right, I can't even read.
Gotta get my eyes back focused.
Yeah, the bad storms, they're going to be
They'll
coming
be coming in
through,
tonight.
Several states, right?
Yeah, they'll be in here later tonight.
I think they're, what, in Texas right now?
Yeah, they're already having tornado watches and everything in Texas.
We're kind of in one of those severe areas this time. We've been getting the tail end of everything. We've been really light rain. It's been so dry, and we've gotten 2 light rains in right at 2 weeks, and not enough to do a whole lot, but just keep us going. But y'all just pray for everybody in the path of these storms that it doesn't do too much. And Danny and I have full gardens planted. Everything is planted.
Everything.
And so a lot of people in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, and Texas have a lot planted. We all have a lot planted, and a lot up.
We're just hoping that the wind don't do a lot of damage in the weather.
So y'all were praying that the wind and stuff kind of just is light on us, that we get enough rain, but not the severe stuff. Thank you, Georgia boy.
Oh, I couldn't read who it was. We're very thankful.
Y'all have a blessed Easter. I'd vote for you too, Mr. Danny.
Oh, man.
So, guys, we've got a few videos coming up this week, hopefully. I'm working on getting a few. One on the greenhouse. And then hopefully we'll have Danny and I are going to do the lunch and supper video.
Yeah, we're having to work on that one because there's a lot goes into that video. I mean, a lot of math goes in that.
I don't know how much math we're going to do, but
I am curious. Can Danny sing? I was actually the lead singer of a group for a few years, but that's been
gospel group.
There's a gospel group for probably, gosh, that's been probably close to 30-something years ago.
And he sings now periodically. If you say, I want to hold your hand, he's going to sing the song.
Oh, yeah, the Beatles. I'm going to actually come in.
If you say, stand by me, meaning come over here and stand by me, he's going to start singing, stand by me.
When you're not strong.
Yeah, you're going to get us demonetized, aren't you? And that's when he sings. Now, what is the one you've been walking through the house from Lion King? It's from Lion King, and you've been doing it for months. He started it when Sunshine was here.
Oh, I know. Oh, man. When you ask me now, I can't think of what it is.
He does this.
Because all that's on my mind is no more worries for the rest of my days.
Whoa, we're getting monetized here now. I'm going to pull a lippy. No. What is that song? You say it, he does it all the time.
I know.
It's the one that Mufasa sings.
Yeah.
He is constantly singing it. It's crazy. Oh, so Yeah, that's not it. Circle of Life.
That's not the
No,
Circle of Life.
it's the one that Mufasa sings.
I can't.
Gosh, the words just will not come in.
Man,
He
if you
he
hadn't asked me, I would have done it.
he
But,
does it like all the time. That is like his favorite thing to walk through the
yeah.
house, and it's kind of sad.
Nobody knows my sorrows.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, sing it. That don't sound right.
No, it's. Oh, is that what it is?
No, that don't sound right. Um, he's all lonesome and by himself.
Yeah. I forgot. It's yeah. It's what Mufasa does it anyway. You're right. Bill Withers did pass away the other day. Yes.
Yeah.
Stand by Me. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I used to sing a lot. I used to sing all the time.
That's right, Mimsy. I'm gonna pull a lippy on Danny. I'm gonna tell him to be.
Shut up!
I think Lippy's heard that a few times this week. Can you feel the love
Can
tonight?
you feel? Yeah.
Oh Lord. All right, so we gotta go.
I
Danny
know.
can sing.
Yeah.
He really can. And he sings gospel. He used to sing gospel a good bit. And
Oh Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder.
he can sing.
Oh,
He just won't do it very often
I just not
anymore.
gonna do it. You know, I used to sing all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
anyway, we gotta go, guys. We hope y'all enjoy this weekend, even if you have to enjoy it by yourself.
Yeah, which we probably will.
We do. And just have fun. You know,
Yeah.
just do what you can do. If you can't do what you normally do, find a way to do it online. Or if you do have your kids or grandkids, even if it's just a few of you, hide the eggs in the yard. Or if you got the plastic eggs, or if you don't have eggs, take pieces of paper and let them color them and go hide those pieces of paper. Or my dad had gotten to where he was taking those plastic eggs and mom was putting candy in them and my dad was putting money in them. So when you found an egg, sometimes you got a $10 bill in an egg. So kids are crazy over money. So find y'all something to do.
Oh, Becker Mom said, I once made a baby cry with my singing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Next live, you got to sing. Ooh. All right.
I come to the garden.
Tips for a song. Y'all would be paying him not to sing.
You're still on the roses. Okay.
End with a song, praising the Lord. Well, he was singing in the garden. Was it?
Yep.
And that the
That's
title, right? Because
yeah.
a lot of people have messaged that they like In the Garden. That's one of their favorite songs.
Jen, y'all have a blessed Resurrection Day too.
All right, guys.
We got to get out of here. A lot of y'all need to get your rest. Tomorrow is the big day.
Not much different from any other day.
Well,
in the last
it is for
2
some
or 3
people.
weeks.
For some people, it might
I mean,
be.
in the last 2 or 3 weeks, it doesn't change a whole lot.
Yeah.
So you guys have fun.
Yeah, if you want to see me sing, all you got to do is go back and watch Patera's video.
Well, it wasn't hers, it was ours.
Oh, was it ours? At the Homesteading Conference?
Yeah.
Okay, it's our video when we was at Patera's Homesteading Conference up there in Tennessee. And me and Patera and, was it Tommy Alderman?
Yes.
Were actually singing, so.
Yes, and they did an awesome job. It was a live stream.
It was a live stream.
They were singing gospel songs for the most part. I think they got off on something else a time or two, but mainly gospel songs. And it was about a probably 2-hour live stream back.
Yeah.
It was around May
8th or May 11th of
3 years ago.
3 years ago. Yeah.
This is 2017 maybe.
Yeah.
Y'all go hunt a live stream from the Appalachian Homestead Conference.
At Deepsouth Homestead.
And
you'll find me, Tommy Alderman, Patera. Was anybody else?
Well, I know the Pratts and Starry and I were sitting there, but I don't remember us singing. I can't remember who all was standing around. I think Sheila from Quake Lake, Jen from the Nut House, Danny and Leslie Fox.
Danny and Leslie Fox, yeah, Jen from the Nut House.
A lot of them were there, and I don't remember who else, but Jen. So I mean, there's a lot of people were standing there, but I think it was mainly you, Patera, and Tommy.
I think it was just me, Patera,
and Patty. Patty was singing with y'all, I believe. So it was fun.
Yeah. Albany Mountain was there. She was there.
Okay, Albany. Okay. I remember there were several people. So, all right, we gotta go.
We've been here long enough.
Y'all will
we
talk
can do this
into
all night.
Singing, and
y'all gonna be talking me into singing a whole song here before it's over with.
He might at some point.
I might. Who knows?
Bye, guys.
See you guys later.